Let's imagine. Imagine your company is considering substituting some of its raw materials by those coming from secondary sources. What numbers would you use to discuss with management whether this is a sound change in operations? Imagine you are a researcher working on a very interesting new product that may change the market. What properties will you use to demonstrate that your product is actually following the principles of design for recycling? Imagine you are a policymaker drafting legislation in support on the implementation of the circular economy. What measures will you request from companies to demonstrate that they are fulfilling their obligations? This sounds all like very different scenarios, but if you pay close attention, they are all facing the same challenge. How do we measure circularity? They all require an objective way to measure circularity. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rodrigo Serna. I'm professor at Aalto University. And for the past 5 years, I have been researching the development of engineering parameters in the service of the circular economy. During this time, I have been fortunate to find like-minded experts who are also trying to solve this impending question. How do we measure circularity? And within the context of the Circular Design Challenge, we have created a team of experts from Aalto University, VTT and SUKE, whose research is focused on various aspects throughout the value chain of materials and processes, from predictive maintenance to process modeling, from recycling technologies to thermodynamics, from life cycle analysis to data management. This diversity of expertise, however, is not an accident. It actually reflects the multiple dimensions that are required for a robust assessment on the impact of circular solutions on the value chains. As a consequence, we are not proposing a circularity measurement, but rather a collection of indicators that would allow us a wider scope of analysis of these solutions. In other words, our proposal is a circular indicators toolbox. Now, what exactly is this toolbox? Let's start by saying what it is not. It will not take you long to search in the internet for circularity toolkits or toolboxes. These are, however, survey type of tools aimed at helping companies promote the circular economy ideas and perhaps finding some points where loops can be closed. However, they do not offer an objective way to measure circularity. Most importantly, they rely on existing technologies. In other words, they do not foster technological innovation. Our approach, on the other hand, is to develop objective, scientifically based parameters that can be used based on measurable properties of materials and processes, and following a clear strategy for the management of uncertainty in data produced experimentally and from databases. This collection linked to key performance indicators of relevance for companies, thus giving us a clear way to make decisions and to evaluate new technologies in the service specifically of the circular economy. Our goals are clear. Our path, however, is just starting. At the moment, we are looking for financial support to establish a research project that will help us develop this circular indicators toolbox and test it. For that reason, we are also here today to establish dialogue and collaboration with you. If you're a representative of a company, we would very much like to hear from you. We could use your real data, and we are very interested in hearing what are key performance indicators that are relevant for you. If you're a researcher, we would like to hear from you, as there may be parameters that we may be overlooking. And if you're a decision maker, we would like to bring to you the awareness on the need of clear, objective parameters to measure circular economy. Our objective in the end is to make the circular economy a driver for technological innovation. Because in the end, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. With this, I want to thank you all for your attention. The contact information of my team is up here. My name is Rodrigo Serna, and I very much look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rodrigo. I think you have really captured one of the most important things, and that is how we measure. And of course, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. But also, I just wondered if you could say a few words now, if we understand how the measuring and we can improve, how do we communicate it in a way that people can understand?
That is exactly part of the challenge, and that's what we have been trying to communicate here as well, right?
Yep.
Circularity is still abstract in many ways, and it can find many ways. It can find many ways in which it can be implemented. We are looking to find objective ways of measuring it, scientifically, technologically. As I mentioned, if we use these clear measurements and use it to address key performance indicators, then it becomes clear why the adoption of circular strategies are beneficial for everyone. It does not become a buzzword, it becomes something clear, something that we can actually understand in objective terms.
Thank you. Yeah, that's a very good point. I noticed there was one question I saw here on the chat, and that was that regarding the circularity measurements and indicators, are there examples where they're used in commercial solutions today already? Some examples that you might think of that are already being used?
Well, there are actually different approaches that are already published. I could not mention a few specific ones. Well, we have been familiar with the use, for example, of material flows at different ranges, from micro level to material flows of goods in the national level, for example. So there are a few parameters that have been used, but I think what we are missing here is that one single parameter is not going to give you the whole picture. I think that this is why our approach is that of a toolbox, of a combination of parameters. The circular economy is multidimensional. There are economic factors, there are societal factors, there are technological factors, and I think that is exactly what we're trying to find. There may be a collection of parameters out there, but the need is to understand how to use them in combination to have a broad and robust perspective of this.
Great answer, very nice presentation, and also I think your message was clear. Looking for funding to help get this sorted. Hopefully some of the companies online will understand that their help is needed, and also, of course, this recording will be available later so people will see your message. Hopefully it leads to something. Thank you so much.
Thank you.